Have you ever felt incredibly hurt by something that didn't seem to bother anyone else? Or found yourself reacting in a way that surprised even you? You're not crazy. You're just following a rule book. The problem is you didn't write most of the rules. They were downloaded, copied, enforced, and now they're running your life like background software you didn't agree to install. So here's the big question. What rules are you living by? And are they really serving you? What's happening, achievers? Ajit Sidhu here. Today we're going to be uncovering the invisible rules that governs your emotions, behaviors, and relationships. When you learn to identify and challenge these rules, you will unlock a new level of freedom. Freedom to feel how you want to feel. Freedom to act on your values, not programmings. And freedom to stop playing by the rules that were never yours to begin with. Let's break it down. Rules in this context aren't laws or societal norms. They're internal beliefs, scripts you've picked up that tell you what must or must not happen for you to feel certain emotions. Imagine this. Someone feels loved only if their partner texts them every morning. That's a rule. Another person might believe they must never make a mistake at work, or they're a failure. That's a rule too. Here's the definition. Rules are beliefs about which behaviors will allow or prevent you from experiencing your values and your needs. And here's the key question they answer. How will I know when I feel X? X could be love, success, respect, safety, connection. Now let's slow this down for a second and really explore the 5 main types of rules people live by, because this is where it gets real. When you start to hear these and recognize your thinking in them, you'll start to realize how often you've been emotionally reacting to your own invisible script. Let's start with number 1, threshold rules. These are your musts and must-nots. Think of these like your emotional tripwires. They tend to sound like, I must always be in control. I must not let people down. I must never show weakness. I must always be liked. These are high-pressure rules. They create a sense of urgency or fear because the stakes feel huge, and it's not just a preference. It's a line in the sand. Here is an example. Imagine a parent who says, I must always be patient with my child. Now, that sounds noble, right? But what happens when they lose patience? Because they're human. Boom, guilt, shame, feeling like a failure. Why? Not because of the event, but because a threshold rule was broken. Number 2, next, are personal standards. Your shoulds and should nots. These are the rules you use to measure your performance or your worth. I should always be productive. I shouldn't feel jealous. I should never eat sugar. I should always be organized. Sound familiar? These rules often lead to frustration or disappointment with yourself. Let's say someone believes, I should always be calm, but they get triggered during a family argument. Instead of recognizing they're human, they feel like they failed a personal standard. That shame spiral kicks in. Now they're not just upset, they're upset about being upset. These shoulds can sound helpful, but when they're rigid, they become prisons. Then we've got number 3, possibility and impossibility rules. These are your cans and cannots. They don't just describe what you want, they define what you believe is even possible for you. I can never trust people. I can't be successful unless I have a degree. I can't lose weight because of my genes. I can't have a healthy relationship because of my past. These rules don't just shape your belief, they shrink your future. You've already closed the doors before you even try to walk through it. Imagine someone who's been betrayed and now says, I can never trust anyone again. That rule might protect them from future hurt, but it also locks them out of connection, support, and love. Next are the rules of intention. Number 4, these are the wills and wills not. These are the promises you've made to yourself. Sometimes they come from pain, sometimes from pride. I will always stand up for myself. I will not let anyone hurt me again. I will never let my guard down. I will always be the strong one. They often sound empowering, but they can also be chains. Picture someone who was bullied as a child. They might grow up thinking, I will never let anyone see me cry. That intention becomes an armor. But now they're in a relationship and their partner is asking for vulnerability and they just can't do it. That's when that very rule that once protected you starts to limit you. And finally, the 5th one, we have global beliefs. This is and is not statements. These are the big sweeping beliefs you hold about life, people, and the world. Life is hard. People are selfish. Love is dangerous. I am not enough. The world's not fair. These aren't just about specific behaviors. They color your entire lens of reality. If someone believes success is for other people, not me, it doesn't matter how many opportunities show up. They won't see them, or they'll sabotage to prove the belief right. These global beliefs are powerful, and often we inherit them without question from parents, culture, or early experiences. Now here's the thing. Each of these rules creates an emotional trigger. When someone breaks your rule, boom, you react. Your friend doesn't call you back. If your rule is people must always respond quickly if they care, that's a violation. You feel rejected. Your partner interrupts you. If your rule is I must never be disrespected, anger flares up instantly. But here's the breakthrough. When you understand your rules, you can choose your reaction. You get to pause, reflect, and ask, wait, was this really about them? Or did they just bump into one of my old unspoken rules? And that awareness alone, that moment of clarity, is the doorway to emotional freedom. So how do you actually identify your rules? Let's do a quick exercise. Think of a time recently when you felt strong emotional reaction, maybe anger, hurt, disappointment, pride. Now ask yourself, what had to happen for me to feel that? And flip it. What didn't happen that I expected? For example, if you felt angry when a friend didn't return your call, maybe your rule is if someone values me, they return my call quickly. Boom, you found your rule. Another example, you felt pride when your child got high scores. What's the rule? When my child succeeds, it means I've done well as a parent. Now test it. Ask, is this rule empowering or limiting me? Does this rule bring me closer to the life I want, or keep me trapped in frustration and guilt? You can even rewrite it. Try shifting musts to preferences. Instead of people must respect me, try I prefer to be respected, but I can handle it if I'm not. Instead of I can never fail, try I learn and grow from mistakes. So here's the big takeaway. Your emotions are messengers. They reveal the hidden rules you're living by. If you feel stuck, reactive, or frustrated, it's likely a rule is being triggered. When you can identify these rules, you can question them. And when you can question them, you can change everything. It's not always easy. Some rules are deeply wired in, but the more you practice, the more freedom you feel. And hey, give yourself grace. We all have rules. The goal isn't to be rule-free, it's to be rule-aware. So here's what I want you to do today. Pick one emotional trigger that came up this week. Ask yourself, what rule is underneath this feeling? And then decide, is it time to rewrite this rule Take 5 minutes, journal it, say it out loud, and if you feel brave, share it with someone close to you. Because awareness is power, and you're the only one who gets to write the rules of your life. Until next time, achievers, take care of each other and yourself.